Right there. Whoop. Hi, big guy. Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Do another one of our little kind of croc talk podcasts, hanging out with Casper in here. For this one though, I'm going to try to have the camera focus on him this way. I've got the GoPro Dome on for the split right here. Get these cool shots. This also means the audio is going to be a little weird on this one, but I think the visuals make up for the audio issues that we're going to have, and hopefully you guys can still hear me perfectly fine and everything like that too. If I can try to have the both of us in there. There you go. So I'll be trying to film the both of us on here and also kind of utilize this dome for some cool split shots with Casper right here. But we're going to talk about on this one is, why is Casper the gator that does the gator tours? What makes him special, and why is he the only one that does the tour and the only gator I swim with? Or at least that's what the comments say. That is not reality at all, okay? Anybody that's been following me for a while will be aware, especially been following me for a long time since I've started these tours. I've been running the tours for about 6 years now, and if you've been with me along through the evolution of my tour, you might be aware of the fact that when I first started these tours, we had 15 alligators in this pond, and I was running tours and bringing people in here with 15 gators. And this is when I first started it, and there was no net, no fence between the people and the gators, no barrier. And I was bringing people in here, hanging out with Casper and 15 other alligators with no barrier between the people and the gators. Now, speaking of the original tours when we had no net, so we had that, and now we have the iron fencing right here is what we use for the tours. This is mandated by FWC. Now, first, we did it with nothing, and then we had actual, like a fishing net I used, and that actually worked really well. A lot of people are like, oh, he can rip right through it. Well, yeah, I mean, technically, but it works because they hit it and they feel it and they're like, oh, what is this thing? They don't understand it. And so it actually worked really well for years. We never had a problem with it. And then FWC did make us change over to the actual iron that you see right here. So this is what we have now. Now I do get a lot of people like, oh, well, I want to do it without the net. That's not allowed. It's not up to us. It is regulated by Fish and Wildlife, and we have to follow those rules. Oh, but can't you like just break the rule for me? No, because they literally threaten us with a felony charge of public endangerment. So no, we cannot break the rule for you. I'm sorry. It's not worth risking, the entire sanctuary and the animals over it, So no, we cannot change it. Now, a lot of people are like, oh, but, well, I don't want to do it now because now it's behind a fence and it's not as cool. No, it's actually kind of cooler. Honestly, having run it both ways, I really like having it with the fence because people get way closer. Because before, I would have to make people stay at least 6 feet back at all times just for their safety, and now people can get like literally like 6 inches from Casper's teeth because they are protected behind the fence. So I actually really like having the fence up, and a lot of people do too, because, well, for people who are afraid, it makes them feel more safe, but then also it's kind of better because you get to actually see him more up close, and it makes it a lot cooler in that way. So I know people are going to complain either way. You can't make everybody happy, but again, this is regulated by Fish and Wildlife, not up to us, and it is in some ways it is an improvement and does make it better, safer, and more fun for people. Oh, look, he's gonna go underwater now. What are you doing down there, huh? You gonna try to eat something? Yep, look at him. Womp. So that's when I move the water and he's just kind of reaching around, seeing, feeling, not seeing, but feeling for the movement of the water right there. Again, no barrier, 15 gators, and I'm in here. How is that possible? Because I know how to handle alligators, and I know alligator behavior, and they would come up and they would try to bite, and I would grab them and not let them bite people because I used to literally be an alligator wrestler as my job. And when I get a lot of new followers and they see the way that I am now, I try to be a lot more chill, a lot more educational, and a lot more work on training. But people really kind of forget that I used to be a total cowboy, gator catching, handling wild alligators, my bare hands. Like that's my bread and butter, man. That's what I grew up on. So when I do all this cool, fun, chill stuff, hanging out with the gators, and I do the training, people kind of forget, like, this is what I grew up on. I am very, very good at it. And just because I'm not gangster now, it doesn't mean the gangster goes away. I know it sounds kind of dumb, but that's what somebody said the other day, and it really kind of makes sense for people, But anyways, so when I first started it, 15 gators in here. Now, obviously, that's a lot of alligators to deal with, and I didn't know if the tour was going to take off. I didn't know if it was going to be popular, so once we realized I had a thing here that people wanted to do, and it was becoming popular, that's when we cut the numbers down, and then I did the tours for the rest of the last, like, I don't know, like 4 or 5 years with about around 3 to 5 gators in here at once. And then just within about the last year, we've been mainly just focusing on Casper in here by himself. And we'll still put other females in here, you know, make him happy. Like if you saw last year, we had 3 to 4 females in here with Casper during breeding season to make him happy. And I was running the tours with that too, you know. So it's not like he's, you know, the only gator that we run the tours with, but he is the main one that I've trained for doing the tours, and so he's the main one I put the time into to be able to do the tours. And so my analogy I always tell people, it's like, well, imagine you put all your resources into buying a car, and then your friends are like, why is that the only car you drive? Is it because you don't know how to drive another car? It's like, no, it's because I put my resources into this thing, and I'm really good with this thing. And that's the one I have because I put the resources in. And, you know, I mean, it's not the perfect analogy, but it does kind of surmise the fact that I've trained him to do this tour and he's really good for it. So that's why I stick with him doing it. But if I had to, I would have another gator in here doing the tour, you know, pretty quickly. How long does that take? Depends on the gator, but I could train a new gator to be able to be doing the swim encounter tours within probably just about a month or a few months, you know, depending on how that animal's behavior and how he acclimates, whatnot. So within a few months, I would probably be able to have him operational and running the tour with the new alligator. But I'm not going to because I already have him doing it. He's great. And then the other thing too is this is also a business decision. I made the business decision to make Casper the star of the tour because I was like, well, look, if you go to Disney, you go to Disney to see Mickey Mouse, not to go see the rats. You want to see that rat. You want to see Mickey Mouse specifically. So I wanted in a business decision to make him the star so that people know him as an individual and they want to come hang out with Casper. And so that's what I wanted to do, and that's what I did. And it was successful and is, but it also kind of bites me in the butt a little bit because then people think that he's the only gator that can do the tour or that he's somehow special in that way, and that is simply not true. Now, he's special to me. I love him, but he's not a special or different gator. He's not an unusual alligator. It's just the amount of training and work that we've done with him that makes him nice and chill, but I could easily switch him out with any other gator. Now, some of them obviously have, you know, a more calm demeanor. They have individual personalities, and so some of them would be easier to do the tour with. But so far, of all the gators that I work with, I don't know any of them that I couldn't do it with. Some of them would be more difficult and take more time, but I could still do it with them eventually. So, you know, just kind of make that make sense for people. Now, in addition to you know, that argument as far as doing the tours in here with the gators and whatnot, then I also like to clarify to people that I dive with wild alligators. And I used to show that a lot on my channels and whatnot, but honestly, they never got the views that I wanted, and more people were interested in my work with the captive gators, so I kind of stopped posting that as much, but I still do dive with wild alligators, and I've been diving with wild gators I've never seen before in my life before I see them underwater, since I was like basically a kid. And not just gators too, crocodiles as well. I've dove with multiple wild American crocodiles here in Florida, and then also in Mexico, also in Costa Rica, and then also diving with wild Nile crocodiles in Botswana. So I've been diving with wild crocodilians all over the world, and again, these are animals that I do not know and I've never seen before that moment that I'm in the water interacting with and even handling underwater in some cases where I'm allowed to do so. So, you know, I just like to make that clear to people as well, just because I get so many comments of like, well, why is he special? Why is he the only one? And that's just not true. You know, again, I run a tour, so it's in my best interest to show him because I'm trying to get people to come do my tour. I'm trying to make a living. So that's why I show him so much, and that's why I focus so much on him, because I'm advertising. I want people to come and do the tour and meet him, you know? Casper, come here. You see him immediately turn around. He started ignoring me because I haven't given him any food or attention, but as soon as we call him over, we got a big old tooth right there. Whoop, gonna go for the finger. See, he does bite. He's not tame. Gotta be careful. He will get you. But yeah, so hopefully that answers a lot of those questions about him being a special gator and this and that and the only one and all that kind of stuff, because I get these all day. So I will be copy pasting this video link in my comments on a daily basis because people ask constantly. So hopefully that covers it all. If you have any other questions in regards to this kind of thing, please, you know, write them in the comments. As always, you know, like, share, subscribe, all that fun stuff, and we'll see you guys in the next one.